We are back on Get Up, and we're talking about that man, Carson Wentz, coming off another injury-shortened season. There's been so much discussion about him needing to change his style of play heading into his fourth NFL year, relying less on his legs, making more plays from the pocket. You sort of love the reckless abandon with which he plays, but at the end of the day, the most important ability is availability, and we all understand that. So, Dan, let's take a look at some tape and explain what he needs to do.
The thing he should not do is change, but what he does need to do is refine his game. Don't take those unnecessary hits. A couple examples that are going to be very obvious to us. So, first of all, situation. 3rd and 13. Anybody who knows football, unlikely conversion. Also, see where the ball is. It's snapped at this 37-yard line, 3rd and 13. Carson, worst case scenario, let's make sure we get a field goal. All right, let's draw the play concept. We've got 4 verticals. Now, what I want everyone to focus on is those 3 defenders. Those are these underneath defenders. Quarterbacks, when we're seeing verticals, especially seams, do those underneath defenders drop out and become an issue? Now, as you see those underneath defenders, everyone watch this running back. He's going to be an integral part of this. And as I play this, I want to drop this down. Watch what happens with these defenders that I pointed out pre-snap. Okay, ball was snapped at the 37. We can see all the way to about the 28, 29-yard line. Nowhere to be found or any defenders.
All right.
But that running back is standing there wide open. Carson, take the check down. Not only does it give you the field goal, but it doesn't allow this to happen. That hit, that unnecessary hit that adds up and it gets those injuries. Another clip against Tennessee. You're going to see a little bit of pressure, but here's the thing. You've got 2 wide open guys that you can choose from. It's 2nd and goal from the 23-yard line. What hill do you want to die on, Carson? Refine your game because there's only one defender for all those 2 wide open guys. But now this becomes a whack! Another unnecessary hit. So should Carson Wentz change the way he plays? Absolutely not. Because I paid him $100 million and I expect him to be a special player. I still need him to be this guy that can push the ball downfield and create big plays. I drafted him, number 2, to do things that other people can't. These are some of the plays that I still want Carson to be able to make. Run around, be chaotic, but it's understanding when to do that stuff. 2nd and goal from the 23 is not the time. 3rd and 13, when the check down's wide open in front of you, those are those unnecessary hits that he can no longer take and be the quarterback everyone expects him to be.
And so a couple of things with that. Nick Foles was hit half as much in the pocket because he got, during the same time period when he's dropping backs, he got rid of the football. And one of the things that Carson struggles with on 1st and 2nd down, takes a lot more sacks, doesn't throw the ball away. And that's why he sees, Dan, some of those 2nd and goal from the 23, the 3rd and 13. It puts your O-line in a bad spot, and it can put your team in a bad spot as well.
One thing that I look at Carson, you say he needs to change a little bit.
Refine.
The only thing he needs to refine is staying healthy.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy and he gets help from his offensive coordinator, he'll be fine. The first play you showed me on the 4 vert, where's the play action to hold Bobby Carpenter? Yeah. You got a guy dropping back. There's no play action on 3rd and long. What am I giving you? I'm giving you screen and draw. Where's the draw action? Play action, stick the ball in the belly, come up for a vert, bender, hit it, 1st down, we're moving the chains.
But worst case scenario, and listen, it's 3rd and 13. I understand being aggressive. But there's a guy right in front of you, and it's not necessarily just, okay, we now get a field goal.
No, you can take that check down. You can take that check down, and that young man right there, I don't know what back it was, he can get the 1st down.
Sure.
There's no question he can split him and get the 1st down. But because the mind is trained as a quarterback, as you know, push.
Right.
He's not going to do.
But that's where the refine comes from.
But that's where coaching
because
too.
To your point, yes, but to your point, the Peyton Mannings and Drew Breeses, their greatest quality was the availability.
Right.
Those guys, all right, what hill do you want to die on? It's 3rd and 13, and not right now is not the time for me to hang in the pocket and push downfield. I'll take that check down. Sure, it gives us points, but I'm not taking those unnecessary hits because then I'm answering the biggest question about me is my health.
Scared.
At the end of the day, there are certain quarterbacks who just have a knack for not taking that big hit. Russell Wilson comes immediately to mind, and some of them who don't. Robert Griffin III comes immediately to mind. He somehow managed to take the biggest hits you've ever seen all the time. And Wentz somehow falls in that category. He does not have a knack for avoiding the big contact, and that's the kind of thing we have to stay away from. All right, we'll have more of this as we go. Meanwhile, college football right around the corner, one day away from the first full weekend of college football, and there are so many big questions coming into the season. Will anyone challenge Alabama or Clemson for the title? Who will have a breakout year? We need answers to those questions and more. And so for that, we're going to do a little either or with our friend Mr. Feinbaum here. And what I like about, I'm going to let you interpret these any way you wish, okay? So let's start with this. Tua Tagovailoa or Justin Herbert? Who you got?
I like Justin Herbert. I think he's suited better for a big breakout year. Tua's had some success, but I didn't like the way the season ended last year, Greeny. He struggled against the better defenses, but Justin Herbert has the biggest opportunity early on, Saturday night against Auburn, and I think he is primed for big success this year.
So I want to make sure to clarify, because I let you go any way you want.
Sure.
Are you talking about as a college player this season, or are you talking about as a pro going forward?
Well, a little bit of both. I think Herbert projects better for the NFL. All this tanking for Tua, I think, is overdone because I think Herbert will go ahead of Tua.
Okay, we'll have Mel with some thoughts on that a little later in the show. Next one, either or, Ohio State or Michigan?
This is easy, and I'm going broke on Jim Harbaugh again, but I think this time they are ready. No diss on Ryan Day, first-year coach, but he's very capable. But I think Michigan has a better team. Shea Patterson is going to have a big year at quarterback. They have a good schedule. They have Notre Dame, of course, and they have Ohio State. Both games at home. I think Michigan has a really good chance to win the Big Ten. I think they will win the Big Ten, in fact, and I think they'll get to the college football playoff.
Well, we talked about it yesterday. You know what I think? If not now, when for Harbaugh and Michigan? All right, next one, we're talking about the two big transfer quarterbacks at the huge programs, either or. Jalen Hurts or Justin Fields?
I'm going Jalen Hurts. So much more experience. Justin Fields comes from Georgia to Ohio State, but Jalen has been around forever, it seems like. He started years ago, and I think he's going to be helped by Lincoln Riley. He doesn't have a great defense, so they're going to be hung out to dry a little bit offensively, having to score a lot. But Jalen Hurts is capable. He's one of the best running quarterbacks in college football. I think he's he's become a better passer, and with Lincoln's help, I think he'll be ready for a breakout year, a possible Heisman Trophy run.
Okay, very good. And then finally, here's the one that I know everyone in America wants to hear Paul Feinbaum weigh in on. Either or, coming off the VMAs the other night. The Jonas Brothers or Taylor Swift?
Listen, I've been a fan of Taylor Swift since she was a country artist. That seems like a lifetime ago, even though I think she's like 21 years old. But I'm thinking to myself, I would love to see Taylor Swift. I know she was at Central Park last week. I don't know anybody in my social circle that would consider going to a Jonas Brothers concert. Do you?
The reason Mr. Feinbaum mentions that is that I'm going to see the Jonas Brothers tomorrow. I'm going to see the Jonas Brothers at Madison Square Garden tomorrow night, and we are very excited about it. We will see Nick, we will see Kevin, we will see Joe, maybe a little Frank the Tank, the bonus Jonas will be there.
Whoever.
You never know. I'm told Big Rob no longer performs with them, which will be a colossal disappointment, but I'll tell you right now, when they do Burnin' Up, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
Flat out lose it.
You enjoy it.
All right, very well done, Paul. We will see this, meanwhile, on Saturday night on ABC. Heisman hopeful Justin Herbert leading 11th ranked Oregon against number 16 Auburn. That's Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern time. You will see that game on ABC, and you can also see it live on the ESPN app. Meanwhile, I have Ramona Shelburne coming in here in a moment, and Keyshawn, I wanted to let you do the promo of it. Ramona has a spectacular 30 for 30 series of podcasts about the Donald Sterling affair, if such is the right word to describe it. I know you listened to the whole thing.
Oh, Greeny, it was fascinating. I binge listened. I was going to say watch, but I had to listen for 5.5 hours of everything. There's so much that you learn that you did not know, to the point where I had to grab my wife and put one of the buds in her ear and say, hey, listen to this. And we sat there and we kind of listened to it. It's just, I mean, it's fascinating.
You're not going to want to miss this. Ramona will be live in our studio with the details on that coming up in just a few minutes. Also coming on Get Up this morning, it may be the NFL's deepest division. We will tell you why one of our analysts has the Vikings winning the NFC North. Agree? Disagree? We'll talk about it as we roll on. And who's a safer fantasy draft pick, Zeke or Melvin Gordon? We'll answer that and more. Don't do your draft until you hear from Field Yates. Coming up on Get Up, ESPN.